Today is day 207 of the year of streaming and learning to code. We are continuing on here at CODEWARS and freeCodeCamp. I'm trying to decide. We're going to try to do both today. We're going to start with CODEWARS first, I think, because freeCodeCamp, the activities are so small and brief that we really don't need to allocate or worry about setting aside too much time for that. Even if we were to just begin with just chipping away at the object-oriented and functional programming section, we could just do 1 or 2 or 3 or however many we can get through. But again, the items aren't too big at freeCodeCamp, so I'm not too worried about spending too much time there. I would like to be able to tag both CODEWARS and freeCodeCamp, so fingers crossed we'll be able to pull that off. Map, though, let's at least get to the right area. So that's where we will be diving into freeCodeCamp, pending the time. If CODEWARS is absolutely brutal, like normal, then that'll be a different issue. I really need to add and start watching those Udemy videos. Now that we conquered the basics, I think we should, I am on this journey, but anyone willing to watch this as well, good luck. But yeah, I think that would be beneficial. So, we are looking for, to kick off day 207, a brand new CADA. We are changing to most completed, level 7, and fundamentals. Hopefully, most completed, difficulty 7, fundamentals, thinking. Good, cool, awesome. We are going through, and here we go. Find the next perfect square. Let's do this. I feel like that's basically all the instructions we'll basically get. All right, they do elaborate a little bit further on this. You might know some pretty large perfect squares, but what about the next one? Complete the find next square method that finds the next integral perfect square after the one passed as a parameter. Recall that an integral perfect square is an integer n, that square n is also an integer. Whoa. What now? Recall that an integral perfect square is an integer n, such that the square n is also an integer. If the parameter is itself not a perfect square, then -1 should be returned. You may assume that the parameter is positive. So, let's see what's happening. Find the next square. So, 121, that would be 11 times 11 for a squared number. And the next one, okay, returns 12 times 12. Fair enough. Next square, 656. Off the top of my head, no idea. Not 656. 625. And the trackpad is stuck again. There we go. 625. And that returns 676. I wonder what number. Something in the 30s? Teens. I'm not good with squares. All I made it to was the 12. Yep. 12 times. No, you know what? It's got to be in the 30s. Because 20 times 20 is 400. Right? I'm totally second-guessing myself. It's after midnight. Yeah, okay, wow, crazy person's choice. Okay, so yeah, that's 30s-ish. 30 times... No, that's 900, that's not gonna fly. Wow, things really start to escalate between 20 and 30. Mid-20s? Clearly. Anywho, not exactly critical. Aside from the point. Problem at hand. Solve the damn thing. We are looking for the stuff with the so forth and such and such. Anywho, find the next square. If it receives 114, that's not a perfect square. And it will return -1 since 114 is not a perfect square. So that's going to be... I think it's going to be something involving modulo and returning 0. Probably whatever the parameter is, modulo the parameter? Maybe? We'll find out. Let's do this. I think it should be pretty basic and straightforward. Really, it's just checking to see if it's a square number, and then sort of an if-else and returning a -1. Alright. You might know some pretty large perfect squares. Yes, we're going to read through it once more. You might know some pretty large perfect squares, but what about the next one? Complete find next square method. That finds the next integral perfect square after the one passed as a parameter. Recall that an integral perfect square is an integer such that square n is also an integer. Square root n. If the parameter is itself not a perfect square, then -1 should be returned. You may assume the parameter is positive. So what I want to check is this guy. S square n. Good times. So, browser doesn't support blah blah blah. Number, so forth and such and such. Aha! None. 2, blank, 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 blank. No negative numbers. So we want only whole numbers. Is there a way to tell it? We only want... You know what? Let's just set it up however we think it's going to be. Let's lay the groundwork, and then we can worry about fine-tuning what the hell we're up against. I think that would just be best case scenario overall. So function square, return the next square if SQ is a perfect square, -1 otherwise. So from the top, if we're receiving a square, we should check math.square. Should we do math.square? Do we have to do math.square? I think we do. Math.square blah 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 returns that. It's probably wrong to Google how to check if it's a square number, but I'm going to do it anyways. Verify, checking perfect square, JS, checking perfect square. I guess it'd be square root. What's the best way in JavaScript to test if a given parameter is a square number? Create a function that will test to see if a given parameter is a square number. Read about the square here. Number is a square, blah, blah, blah. It returns true or false. Negative number also returns false. So is square. Right now I'm using this method, JSFiddle. But is there a shorter, cleaner way? Is square function. C. So they do use math.square root and then n. Ah, interesting. I think the %1 or the modulo 1 is what they're using to ensure that it's a whole number. Although I guess that would occur anyways. Let's do, where's Google? Where are you? Square root 114. So it would give a bunch of noise anyways. Versus 21. That gives it clean. So we don't actually have to do anything special. What we can focus on is just that. So maybe my idea of just doing math.square would be fine from the get-go. So math.square already returns true or false. No. Math.square returns the number. That example we found was returning true or false because that was the function, which we're not really worried about that part. At least yet. So math.square gives us our number. Math.square root SQ. So math.square blah 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 equals 2, 3. We can get away with 2. We could make it 3. We're going to leave it with 2. And I kind of want to do an if statement. If math.blank blah 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 and equals 0, and it's not even if that equals 0, it is math.square blankety blank modulo. So math.square root of whatever number, 121, we're going to end up with an 11. If 11 modulo divided by itself, that doesn't seem right. That would return 1. If we divided it, 37 divided by 37, that's going to give us 1. Oh, we do have to do 1. Because that will tell us whatever we end up with, 11 divided by 1, that would give us a clean number. Versus if it was 114, I haven't had to do regular division, square rooting anything since, like, high school. So, I mean, there were the couple math courses in college, but I did my best to block all of that out, as one does. Yeah, good. Most of my time has been spent in human resources for the last couple years. So algebra hasn't really been a necessary tool. Okay, so kosher. Good, good. Definitely the one, which is why this dude was doing exactly that, which I'm assuming probably the rest of the noise is very similar to what we need. But if this is true, we should take curly stuff. And then do what? If math.square root, and the square is 121, that would be 11, modulo 1, would be 11 divided by 1, which would return a healthy 11 with 0 remainder. So we're only going to end up with whole numbers. That's what we're looking for. We want it to take math.square root. Would I do return math.square root? No. We would just enter math.square root plus 1. Plus 1. Plus 1. And that would be the next number, and then square it. Would we return that? This is just basic algebra. My issue isn't the coding issue, it's the fact that I haven't had to do algebra after 12 o'clock midnight in the last, I don't know, 7 years? Okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? Bad, Steven. Bad. So that would give us 12, and then there's got to be a handy square root function? No? This should be a variable. That's what we should do. If blank, blank, blank variable, watch this, variable, hey, I just noticed the comment chats, my bad, it's NC Kira, add 1, then square that, yep, return that, also remember to round down mod 1. I don't know how to round down. I mean, in math in general, yes, I know how to round it, but is mod 1 how 1 rounds down? JS. Mod. Arithmetic. Oh, yeah, yeah, good. Modulo 1, gotcha. Haha, shorthand. We already had it. There we go. So now, good. So that's what rounding down is. Right. My bad. So I was on NC here, modulo. Yes, is the percent. Okay, yeah, I'm slow. Yay, Google and viewers like you. Good. So add 1, then square it. So that's good to know I was on the right path. Add 1, square the crap out of it. return that. The thing you did with the %1 is to see if it's an integer. My bad. Okay, good. So now I'm doing a different thing. Right. So there's going to be more modulo stuff in my future. Is it wrong to turn this into a variable? Like next square? And then do something with that below. I kind of feel like it is. I feel like that could almost be another function in and of itself, and that I would plug it in. I don't think I need to do that. I think I'm overcomplicating it. I know I still just need to square the crap out of it. Just do math.floor. Yeah, that's what the round down is. We went over that in, I did, in basic JavaScript. There was a math floor something somewhere that we just did. Floor stuff. Oh, where'd you go? If else, logical operators. Typical forgetful son of a memory of a goldfish. Anyways, aside from the point, yes, math.floor rounds down. We covered that just the other day or two ago. Alright, don't mind me resorting through your comments. Thank you again for the assistance, NC Kira. Add the 1, then square that. So, good. Something there. Return that. Also remember to round down. Modulo 1. The thing you did with the %1 is see if it's an integer. Just do math.floor or something like that. So, floor the result of square root, then add 1. Then raise to the power of 2. Right? I can just exponent the crap out of it. So, let's get rid of the variable nonsense, shall we? Here, wait, ignore the floor stuff. You don't need it, since you already know it's an integer already. Okay, I was gonna say, didn't this stuff clear out all the, that's what I was tinkering with in the calculator previously. I was thinking out loud, I think, before you arrived. Yeah, good. But anywho, because I was comparing if I were to run 121, which gives us a clean number, which similar, see, they reference 121 in their example. They also reference 114. I didn't know what the square of 114 was. It's 10 dot a whole bunch of noise afterwards. It was hideous, so I was double-checking, verifying that to set up this. So I made it that far. But, so we don't need to worry about math.floor. I can get rid of the parentheses. I was going to do math.floor with the parentheses, but since that's not needed, no need for that. This one is far more basic than yesterday. So now, either use math.pow or multiply the result by itself. I was thinking of doing multiplying the result by itself, taking all of this, but I didn't know if that was wrong to do that. Copy. Because visually, this is what I was seeing, or something similar to this, but it felt wrong, and or other kids on the playground would laugh at me if I were to bring this to school. So, yeah, that's where I was left at. But, aside from that, I feel like it would deliver exactly what I needed. Good. So, what are we looking for? And then returning this would be else. But I'm not sure. But if that's cool, I mean, because this is what I was thinking of a few minutes ago. I was just trying to think of if there was a cool, I didn't know if there was a cool math.square function or something that all the cool kids are using to square stuff. I don't know what those methods are yet. I think I've gone over them. Okay, math.pow. So now you either use math.power multiply by itself. Yeah, that's fine. Just return that. Cool. It's cleaner to assign that to a variable. That's what I was thinking before. That's why I had the whole variable next square or whatever, and then you know, do something below. Get some squariness going on, timesing on itself. But if this flies, I think this paints a more honest picture of where I'm currently at. Cleaner to assign, or use math.pow. Math.pow is what you're looking for raising the power to whatever. Okay. Well, we'll do this. We'll see what happens. If it blows up in my face, then, well, we can all laugh together. Yeah, look at that. Look at that guy. Okay, 37 things wrong. Not bad. Worse things have happened. But there is some green. Not sure how that happened. Find next square. Should return the next square for perfect square. Oh, that's right. Only do +1 if it's still perfect. So we're going to have 2 if loops in this guy. Oh my god, that's right. So 121, because let's pretend we were at... Well, I don't know what number we would pretend we were at, but yeah, let's pretend we had a perfectly squared number, and then we did +1, and it returned a friggin' nightmare. That would be bad. That would be bad. So that's where the trick of this whole CADA is coming in, is figuring out that next step. So let's see. Oh, I have to return the result. Return. Haha, just kidding. Bad Steven. Bad Steven. Overthinking things. No, it's all fine. You just didn't return anything. There we go. There we go. Ta-da! That was close. That was a turning point. This almost got very, very ugly. All right. Good save, NC Kira. Hey, live to create. How you doing? Good evening or daytime, whatever it is. Right now we're it's 12:28 or 0 hour 28, whatever you prefer. If you have 121 math.square 111, then it's 12, 144, you're done. Okay, awesome. Cool. Good to know. Good call. You're right. Everything is hunky-dory. Everyone lives. So let's submit this as our official attempt. And then we can see what all the cool kids wrote to submit for their answers. It's probably far sleeker, slimmer to what I had. Live to create. It's interesting that you are learning this late. Seems like it would slow me down a ton. Yeah, it's brutal. It's not exactly the perfect time to learn or start anything after midnight. It's just there's far less to do. It's just that's when there's time to do it. I don't know why and how it happens. I mean, there are other brief windows during the day. Again, some of the streams are really short, like 20 minutes, just to make progress for the day. But I don't know. It's just the way life is. The planet slows down the closer you get to midnight and past. Anywho, Null 513. All the cool kids wouldn't be doing JavaScript, right? That's what I'm thinking. Or they're doing clever stuff. Let's see, what do they have? What do they have going down? They've got, for the first answer, return math dot square root square %1 minus 1. What's with that noise? Colon math dot pow math dot square root. You know what? I thought it was going to be more interesting. Function find next square. Variable number math dot square root. If math dot round number equals number, math dot pow plus plus number. Interesting to iterate the number by 1. Fascinating. Good move on their part. Function find square, variable root, math dot square root, root modulo 1 for a ternary statement. Gotcha. For their if-else. They just crammed everything together for their if-else. So everyone did do essentially the same thing I did. Mine just was far less graceful. I thought there was going to be some interesting answer. This is kind of cool. Oh, no, that's not any better either, technically. I guess there's only really one way to skin this cat. Okay. So, what are we looking for? There were a smattering of comments that flew by. Good. Bonjour, madman. If I owe you... Okay, no. Interesting late. Don't diss JS. I don't do it myself, but it's pretty easy to pick up. That first one is like this. Okay, that's what I thought. You'll find this course enjoyable. Udemy, learn how to code. Hey, that's cool. Math square root x modulo 1 is not 0. Then return -1, otherwise is 0. Return the square if not square root. I'd prefer it more readable. I really hate clever answers. Yeah, I mean, it's not... Usually the first one is at least hard for me to visualize. Mine, there were no secrets. Mine was cavemanish, for lack of a better phrase. Alright, so Udemy. I do have a Udemy course that I have for JavaScript. Hey, Google's Go. I want to learn Go. I do want to learn Go. Thank you for the link, Null513. $10, yeah, I got my other Udemy course for $10. I think I've got another code. Since I bought one course, I think I have a code to get another class at $10. It seems like a lot of the times, it seems like they always have a ton of sales for $10 courses. I've seen more over the last, over the last 206 days of people, no, 207 days of people occasionally mentioning Udemy. I've seen more of the courses available for $10 than I have seen courses available at full price. So I'm not too worried about the sales, but I am glad to see that they do have that Go course with that link. So good times. In the meantime, we finished our CADA for today. That didn't take 45 hours. Thank God. We finished that in just under 20 to 30 minutes. So now we get to dive into freeCodeCamp. Let's go ahead, see where we stand overall for CODEWARS, view profile. 77% of the way through. We're down another 1,000. We were at 83,000 last night. Now we're down to 82,000. Inching our way there. Step by step. Slowly making progress, but that is okay. Let's close out of CODEWARS. We can close out of our assistant stuff. And we get to kick off. I'm not sure we're going to make it through all of this unless it goes really quickly. Hopefully halfway through, but we'll at least check off a few of these items as we dive into object-oriented and functional programming. Not exactly gripping, but those are the next steps on this particular path. What are we looking for? Clever stuff. My priority is as follows. NC Kira. Priority as follows. Correctness, readability, performance, then short code. I could live by that. I should be following that too. Because that seems to be a good balance or filter for learning how to code as well. Understanding, making sure that it's correct, making sure that it's readable both for you and others, then focusing on the performance of it, and then making it short and, quote, clever. Yeah. Live to create. The sales are mostly a sales tactic. Difficult words. Struggling. It's that CADA. Got me all riled up. Damn those CADAs. Fortunately, that was an easier one. With the help of NC Kira, of course, guiding us on that. From the top, though, what section are we in? Object-oriented and functional programming. Let's see what kind of dent we can make here. Declare JavaScript objects as variables. Before we dive into object-oriented programming, let's revisit JavaScript objects. Give your motorbike object wheels, engines, and seat attributes, and set them to numbers. Will do. Only change code below this line. We've got wheels, seats, no, wheels, engines, and seats. Seats. We've got colons, numbers, and so motorbike, we would have 2 wheels. We would have engine. I wonder if they're referring to cylinders or the actual engine itself. From the motorsport side, hands down, it would be cylinders. But as far as freeCodeCamp goes, I think they just literally mean engine, so we'll put engine. Don't forget the colon. I mean, I think the most common would be a 2-stroke 2-cylinder. And probably they'd reference stroke before the cylinder count. But that's just my 2 cents. I mean, 1 cylinder definitely is common, but it'd still be 2-stroke. Anyways, moving on. Not critical to the problem at hand. Ding-a-ding-a-ding. NC usually, if you have enough experience, the clear, readable code is also pretty format. NC I'm out for the night. Good luck. Thank you again, NC Your assistance and guidance was greatly, greatly appreciated. All right, what are we doing? We are adding seats to our motorbike. Is it a 2-seater? I don't think so. Just a 1-seater. We're not carpooling. It's just us. Although 2 seats would be far more beneficial. What if we needed to give someone a ride? No, 1 seat. We're gonna save on gas. NC Kira. It's comma, not a semicolon. Oh, saves the day as he's heading out the door. NC Kira for the win. Look at that. The last one also doesn't need a comma. Good eye. Thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your evening. NC Kira, you are always welcome. Run it. Boom. Power up. Exactly. Submit and go forth. Construct JavaScript objects with functions. We're also able to create objects using constructor functions. A constructor function is given a capitalized name to make it clear that it's a constructor. Here's an example of a constructor function. Variable car function This dot wheels equals 4, this dot engines equals 1, this dot seats equals 5. Aha, I remember constructor functions, vaguely, not in full detail, from all of our wonderful time, we're being favorable, wonderful time at Code Academy. So, constructor functions have arisen again. We did not escape them. So apparently Code Academy wasn't lying to us. It is not a one-time thing. Good on them. In a constructor, the this variable refers to the new object being created by the constructor. So when we write this dot 4 wheels equals, this dot wheels equals 4, inside of the constructor, we're giving the new object it creates a property called wheels with a value of 4. You can think of a constructor as a description for the object it will create. Have your motorbike constructor describe an object with wheels, engine, seats, properties, and set them to numbers. So same song and dance, but this time with this. And since it's the same song and dance, we're going to go ahead and copy it, the labels, and we're pasting, and then now we can do enter. Although, now we have to do quotes. I don't know if that actually saved any time. I don't think it did. Not 1 second of it. And we don't need quotes. What is happening? Bad Steven. Bad Steven. There we go. Here we go. We do want this dot blah. Copy this dot blah, this dot blah, equals wheels for motorbike 2, engine 1, seats 1. Okay. Not semicolon. Bad. It's because it's JavaScript. I've got semicolon in basically the majority of the languages. I've got semicolon hammered in there as our default response to anything. Wait, no, and it is semicolons for the constructor. Death. Why? They're testing our ability. This is exactly what I was talking about. When in doubt, semicolon. Bah. Happy thoughts. Run test. Nothing but net. No, nothing but lies. Not comma. Semicolon. Bastard. Okay. From the top. Make instances of objects with a constructor function. Now let's put that great constructor function we made in the last lesson to use. Great's a bit of an overstretch. To use a constructor function, we call it with the new keyword in front of it, like variable myCar equals new car. MyCar is now an instance of the car constructor that looks like the object it described. Wheels 4, engines 1, seats 5. And they have commas though. That's kind of cool. Note that it's important to use the new keyword when calling a constructor. This is how JavaScript knows to create a new object, and that the references to this inside the constructor should be referring to this new object. Now, once for the myCar instance is created. Whoa. What? Now, English, Steven, English. Once the myCar instance is created, there we go, it can be used like any other object and can have its properties accessed and modified the same way you would usually. For example, myCar.turbotype, twin, okay, so cool, fun. Someone maybe with mild automotive interest type this out. Our myCar variable has a property, turbotype, with a value of twin. In the editor, use the car constructor to create new instance and assign it to myCar, then give myCar a nickname property with a string value. Okay, we're going to piece this nightmare together bit by bit. Nothing crazy. Change the code below. myCar equals new car, I think, with parentheses. And what do we have so far? We've got the property wheels should still be 4 in the object constructor. Yes. There should not be a property nickname in the object constructor. Correct. The property wheels of my car should equal 4, and the nickname of my car should be a string. In the editor, use the car constructor to create a new instance and assign it to my car, which is exactly what will happen. Then give my car a nickname property. So it would be my car dot nickname blah blah blah. I guess we can do that below. My car dot nickname equals semicolon. See, always semicolon. Mostly, not always, mostly. Nickname. Damn. All we've been thinking of is cats for the last 207 days. I can't call my car Whiskers. Son of a bitch. Eleanor. That's a good one. It's a classic one. Eleanor. Good, good, good. Run test. Oh, dear God. Oh, nickname, lowercase. My bad. I did camel case. They didn't want that. Ta-da! Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Off the hook. Yes, yes. Beautiful. Make unique objects by passing parameters to our constructor. The constructor we have is great, but what if we don't always want to create the same object? To solve this, we can add parameters to our constructor. We do this like the following example. Variable car function wheels seats engine. This wheels wheels, this seats, this dot engine. Now we can pass in arguments when we call our constructor. Aha. Variable my car new car 631. So this code will create an object using the arguments we passed in, and it will look like this: wheels 6, seats 3, and engines 1. Fascinating. That's cool. Now give it a try yourself after the car constructor. To use the parameters, assign values to wheels, seats, and engine property, then call your constructor with 3 number arguments and assign it to my cars to see it in action. Try it out. Variable my car equals something something so forth and such. So variable car equals function blah 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 blah. Variable my car, so equals new car. However, change this constructor and try it out here. So we're changing this to wheels. Is that right? We're changing this to seats. And we're changing this to engines. Possibly. From here, we're going to have car with... I feel like we should be labeling the parameters here as well, like wheels, seats, and engines, right? I mean, that's what they've got here. Wheels, seats, and engines. I'm going to take it. It doesn't say only code below this line. I think we can change everything. I think there's quite a bit of modifying that needed to occur to get what we actually need. And now we can put in wheels. How many cars? Because usually they only say, oh, code below this line, or code this line, or code below. but they just say change the constructor, which I guess would be all of it, really. Even though it's a function, the whole function is a constructor, or the object is a constructor. Yeah. Hey, motor. I know you were hanging out with us yesterday. Yes, you need to accept the parameters. Okay, awesome. Good to know. At least we got confirmation on this. So, numbers. Wheels. 4. And seats. 2. And you know what? Engines? We're going to do 2. Hybrid car. Yeah. Gas and electric. Coding spree. Damn straight. Submit and go. Onwards. Hey, look at that. We've got 2s across the board. 222 items finished here at freeCodeCamp. Where do we stand in this object-oriented nonsense? Object-oriented functional programming. We may be coming up to a good break point, but perhaps we should just keep forging ahead. Like all the way through to join. I know we're at least going to do a couple more. We'll see where we end up. We will see where we end up. Make object properties private. Objects have their own attributes called properties and their own functions called methods. In the previous challenges, let's see which challenges they are referring to. Yeah, sure. Wow, literally the previous challenge? Okay, that was like 2. I thought they were talking about like 4 days ago, not 4 minutes ago. Make object okay, yes. In the previous challenge, we used the this keyword to reference public properties of the current object. We can also create private properties and private methods which aren't accessible from outside the object. To do this, we create the variable inside the constructor using the variable keyword we're familiar with instead of creating it as a property of this. This is useful for when we need to store information about an object we want to control how it's used by outside code. How it is used by outside code. Sure. For example, what we want to store is the speed of our car is traveling, but we only want outside code to be able to modify it by accelerating or decelerating, so the speed changes in a controlled way. In the editor, you can see an example of car constructor that has implemented this pattern. Sure. Car function, variable speed 10. This is a private variable. These are public because they have the this keyword. This in front of them. This is missing this. Ergo, private, not public. So, in the editor, implement this pattern. Now try it yourself. Modify the bike constructor to have a private property called gear and 2 public methods called getGear and setGear to get and set that value. Further explanation on this keyword. I don't think we need a further explanation on this. It's good to note that it exists right here, but we can worry about that another time. So far, it's been pretty straightforward. Was it just the bike function they wanted? Or was it the car function? Modify the bike constructor. Only change code below this line, which is regarding the bike function, will do. So, 1 private, 2 public. Private method called gear. Variable gear equals traditional 6-speed bike. Nothing wrong with that. Followed by public methods. This, let's tab these over just a bit. This dot getGear equals Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, that's accelerate. Okay, accelerate, decelerate, get speed. So speed plus change, going down, returning speed. Do I actually need to set up the getting gear? Like the current gear we're in plus the next gear? I don't think I need to actually do that. Maybe I do. Crap, I probably do. To get and set the value. Variable speed. Oh, is currently 10. Okay, gotcha. Don't mind me. Hey, little cat, go away. So, 10 is our variable speed. So that's speed plus change. So there's a change variable somewhere versus speed, which is 10, minus equals 5. So we're going to end up at 5 from 10 anyways. 10 minus 5 equals 5. And then get speed will return speed. So that would merely spit out 10. Good to know. Little cat. If you need to cross, you can cross. Thank you, you furry abomination. I've got your tail. Think about that. No, 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 no. Think about it on the bed, on the... God, you... Oh, I'm so close to finishing. We're like halfway through. I just want to... No, 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 no. You're not going to sleep. Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't mind me. Kitty crisis. Could you be more of a nuisance? Princess, I love you. You're adorable. You're covered in fur, but sweet baby Jesus. There's fur everywhere. Furricane. Oh my god. She's so stressful. What am I doing? That's our gear. Get gear would be return gear. So this equals a function that returns return gear, followed by this dot set gear. Set gear. See, I'm not sure what they want for set gear, though. Function. I figured they just want... Hell, I don't know what they want. It's a toughie. Cat, what are you doing? We just moved you. Look, the desk is mostly clear. You can nap. Just don't lay on the keyboard itself. Hey, hey. Yeah, think about that. Get blown on. No, no. Why? Why? What is with the hand? The claws on the hand. Gear something. Are we returning something? What's happening? Modder. Is it... Okay, and also, question. Is it modder or motor? Or something entirely different? I think it's motor. Like O, but it's a 0, so it's hard to gauge. Could be motor. I think that would be 2 R's, though. Or 2 T's. It's got to be motor. Take a parameter and make the gear equal to it. Oh, wait. Take a parameter. Taking parameter. Aha. So, I guess the change parameter? See, that's the thing, is that it's an activity. They never even once mentioned the change thing. Set gear to get and set. Just looking at this, I'd want to put get as the keyword for the parameter. I guess it could be get gear. You could have a function as another parameter. Isn't that a weird, a little inception-y get gear? It's O, but a 0. Okay. So motor. Motor? Motor. Oh, yes. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Hold on, don't mind me. I just need to explain what's happening. I'm trying to type with my left hand, as one does, but there's a cat sleeping directly. Don't move your head, cat. Okay, yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna move my hand now, because I need to show the other humans how ridiculous you are. Let's jump to OBS. Don't mind the inconvenience. Let's all share. Yeah, this is Tiny Cat. She keeps grabbing my hand, and now she's legitimately laying on it. She kept, like, clawing, reaching out for my hand, and I set it down to cover one arm, and then she kind of stacked her hand on top of mine, and then just plopped her face down. And she hasn't moved. So it makes typing difficult. She's actively... I know this is wrong. But we can type one-handed. There's nothing wrong with that. Not get gear. What's happening? Hey, apples. Exactly. So it should be this dot gear set function whatever you want. Gear equals what? Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll call it set. Since this one was... We'll call it set. Gear equals set. Ta-da! What is with the missing who's missing a semicolon? Oh, no. Yes, it is missing a semicolon, and this is missing a semicolon. There we go. Balance to the universe is restored. One-handed. Thank you. Motor. Damn, we're going to pick one of those. It's an O. It's an O. It's motor. It's motor. Sorry, I'm terrible with usernames, and I'm just trying to confirm or deny the correct answer. Onward ho. Onward ho indeed. Iterate over arrays with map. The map method is a convenient way to iterate through arrays. Here's an example usage. Variable old array 1, 2, 3 variable times 4 equals old array dot map function value return value times 4 console.log times 4 returns 4, 8, 12. Console log old array returns 1, 2, 3. The map method will iterate through every element of an array, creating a new array with values that have been modified by the callback function and return it. Note that it does not modify the original array. In our example, the callback only uses the value of the array element, the value argument, but your callback can also include arguments for the index and array being acted on. Use the map function to add 3 to every value in the variable old array and save the results into variable new array. Old array should not change. Okay, let's do this. Cat, you still... Little kitty still has my left hand, which this is incredibly inconvenient, but considering that I type like a 4-year-old one finger at a time anyways, it's not as big of an inconvenience as one would think. However, it definitely makes getting the characters needed, in particular the braces and the parentheses, much harder because we're operating the shift key on the well, one-handed, so that's not exactly helpful. What are we doing? We are fixing only change code below this line. Ask and you shall receive. Oh my god, now she's sleeping. Now I really feel bad about moving my left hand. And she's warm. My hand is so... Focus. Kitty heater, one-handed issues are meant for another day. Something about the old array. Old array, blah, blah, blah. Variable times 4, we're going to call it plus 3. That's what we're going to call it. Variable, we'll call it add 3. Add 3. Wait, can we call it add 3? Ow, no, they want it called new array. Holy crap. Okay, my hand's free. Thank God. It is so warm. Jesus. Add 3. Add 3. Times 4 equals old array dot map. I'm not sure what's happening because I was so focused on little cat, so this is kind of monkey see monkey do. Function value curliness. This guy gets a semicolon. In here, we will be returning value plus 3. In general, I think we're on an okay path. Colon, and then... Do they want us to do the console log? I'm not sure. Let's try running this. Yeah, they're pissed. You should add 3 to each value in the array. Maybe they wanted all of this added on to the new array. I think that's what they wanted. Yeah, that seems to make more sense. Ta-da! There we go. Most triumphant. Slightly triumphant. Barely alive. That's what that title should have said. Condenser arrays with reduce. The array method reduce is used to iterate through an array and condense it into one value. To use reduce, you'll pass in callbacks whose arguments are an accumulator, in this case, previous value, and the current value, current val. The accumulator is like a total that reduce... Whoa. The accumulator is like a total that reduce keeps track of after each operation. The current value is just the next element in the array you're iterating through. Reduce has an optional second argument which can be used to set the initial value of the accumulator. If no initial value is specified, it will be the first array element, and current value will start the second array element. Here's an example of reduce being used to subtract all the values of an array. Variable single value equals array.reduce. Function, previous value, and current value are our parameters. Return previous value and subtract current value. And then after that, what's happening here? 0. The 0's throwing me off. Comma 0. If I had a nickel for every time there was a 0 that I didn't understand. Use the reduce method to sum all of these values in an array and assign it to single value. Same song and dance essentially here. So we're going to end up with dot reduce function with our 2 parameters and curly braces. The 2 parameters will be... Did they want us to use previous value, or they had new values they want us to use? I think we're using the same values. Previous and previous value and current value. I think no. They said single. No. That's the name of the variable. That's the other thing. Shouldn't this be... No. bad. Single value equals is equal to array. Get rid of the space. That helps slightly. Motor, are you going to learn ES6 after basic JS? I'm hopeful. I haven't been too worried or concerned. I know I probably should be more aware of the exact like standard that I'm learning. At Code Academy, where I first started, they were going through a kind of major update phase and period. They've been updating a lot this particular summer, kind of in regards to exactly that. They were making a big push towards upgrading all of their HTML stuff to HTML5 and CSS3, and they updated their JavaScript courses as well, and Ruby for whatever the upcoming standards were. They went over it in, where is it? I think it was catalog, probably. Although not critical, but as of now, I'm just kind of focused on whatever the sites I'm coming across of are focused on, just to try and get a better understanding of sort of the fundamentals in general. From there, just keep the ball rolling. I can then hone my skills to more up-to-date things. Although I should be learning the up-to-date things on the fly now, but a lot of the sites like Code Academy and I think freeCodeCamp hopefully have been keeping them up to date. I know Code Academy made a big deal about it on their site, about keeping things up to date. As especially towards the end of me finishing Code Academy. See, updates. Oh, that's the React stuff. There was no, not the updates to that. Anywho, point is yeah, their Code Academy is pretty good. That's where we spent our first 150 days out of 200. Our foundation is there. Most stuff was up to date. Yeah, this stuff. Ta-da! Although not exactly specifically tied to the ES6 syntax, but still along the idea of staying up to date. So, fingers crossed. Last updated July 11th. Good to know. Good to know. Anywho, let's go ahead and we're close to wrapping this up. Where do we stand? Dot filter, sort, dot map, and making things private. Motor, you can use ES6 syntax now. That's true. And I probably should be. Mike is lagging, by the way. And we'll even take that as a sign that we should be wrapping this up sooner than later. I think we're going to go ahead and finish this one. Looking at it now, we probably should have stopped at .map and saved all the methods, .map, .reduce, for another day, for tomorrow. But since we started reduce, we'll go ahead and finish it out. And then we will, we'll call it a day. 207 in the bag. Condense arrays with reduce, previous value, current value. We were implementing current value. Current value. Followed by returning previous value minus current value. Not two L's, not a capital C. All terrible. Semicolon. here, run, no, my bad. Single value should be equal to the sum of all items in the array variable. Let's do, what was it, comma 0. I realized we missed that. Damn. Would it be variable? Is that what I'm missing? Something, something, dark something. Why am I missing stuff? Something's wrong and it's me. Not variable. Is not so good to use when you want to add up. Right, yeah, minus is not so good to use when you want to add up all values. Exactly. You're not learning any, applause. You won't learn anything if you're just copying. True. However, it seemed like that's what they were wanting. I'm only going off the last one as well, or their past. Again, it's, I think their site, as quirky as Code Academy was, it seems like their site has been even more strict with, I guess, the wording and the exact formatting of the answers you give. So I was just trying to stick to whatever formatting they had. Where was it? Was the one we were working on? Damn. Of course, I can't think of which one I was just looking at. Anyhow. Okay. Let's do... Let's try to tackle this. I know I'm missing something basic. The array method reduce is used to iterate through an array and condense it into one value. To reduce, you pass in a callback whose arguments are an accumulator, in this case, previous value and current value. The accumulator is like the total that reduce keeps track of after each operation. The current value is just the next element in the array you're iterating through. Reduce has an optional second argument. Has an optional second argument which can be used to set the initial value of the accumulator. If no value is specified, it will be the first array element, and current value will start the second array. So that's what the 0 is. Okay, so I don't know if 0 is actually necessary. Maybe it is. But that definitely explains what that is. So that's the second. Maybe they were talking about the parameter. I don't know. God, it's so late. 1:18. Why do we always learn after midnight? I don't think we're learning. This is why we struggle. We need to find time to stream earlier in the day. There's always so much crap going on. Here's an example of reduce being used to subtract the values of an array. Variable single array. Array.reduce. Function previous value, current value. Return previous value minus current value. Okay. 0 is optional from my general understanding. Use the reduce method. Oh, to sum. Oh my god. Motor. Yes, you're right. You're right. Thus the copying. Apples. I agree. I agree. Thank God this was the last one we're working on. Clearly we've reached a sign that it's too late for me to function. And since I want to see if it's truly not necessary, that 0. Run again. It does work without the 0. Keep calm and code on. Lies, and we're gonna call it because it's 1:20 a.m. and everything hurts. Oh, dear God. Okay. We're good. We've made it 225 items down through freeCodeCamp, and we had the CADA that we knocked out earlier today at CODEWARS. Hopefully we can keep this up, doing a CADA a day and chipping away at freeCodeCamp. Fingers crossed we can keep that going. In my own time, I already have a Udemy JavaScript course that I need to watch to better hone my JavaScripty skills and knowledge, so I need to start diving into that class and course. Hopefully tomorrow, or technically today, since it's now 1:21. But yeah, so anyways, let's go ahead and back out of this. Profile-y goodness. Almost all of July is filled. Tons of fun. All right, we're back now. Motor, when do you usually start streaming? Usually it's, I don't intend for it, but I usually end up starting to stream minutes before midnight. So like 11:56, 11:57, 11:59, and then it pours past midnight. It spills over into the next day, obviously. Even if it's a short 20-minute stream, just because I end up starting so late. Ideally, in my mind, I'd like to stream earlier, midday, noonish, 11, around there, but it just doesn't happen due to scheduling and life and other nonsense. So, yeah, midnight is close to midnight is when it happens, so very, very Cinderella-esque race against the clock. Just to squeeze it in to start the stream that day. But yeah, wishful thinking on my part. Anywho, thank you again to anyone and everyone who stopped by to assist with tips, guidance, support, or if you just stumbled in here by accident, thank you anyways. Any and all views are greatly appreciated. For those who commented and provided tips and just general chat support, we had NC Kira, Live to Create, Null513, and Motor, Apples, and who else? I think that was it. Good times. Motor, 7 in the morning. Lucky you, Motor. Yeah, no, our night is coming to an end. Thank God. Okay, we are done with that. freeCodeCamp. Backing out of this. Jump over to OBS. Stopping the stream. The adventure continues tomorrow with day 208 of the year of streaming and learning to code. But in the meantime, are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it.